Hi, it's Father Barry. It's Wednesday, April 7th. It's Day to Day with St. Joseph, and this week I decided to take something I filmed 2 weeks ago, The Way of the Cross out at Gate of Heaven Cemetery, and look at it from a St. Joseph point of view. I was going to show it all to you in Holy Week, but I saved it instead for here as a lead-in to the Divine Mercy feast, which is coming up on this Sunday. And so a way of leading into that, we'll watch this. After walking among the stations of the cross at Gate of Heaven, I could see that Joseph is behind almost every story of Jesus. So Joseph here, depicted on the right, leads to Jesus on the left. And the way of the cross, there's something of Joseph in each of them that Jesus took and brought with him to bring the Paschal mystery to us. On this Wednesday, we go down to the 8th station, and we'll see how far we get for today. It's usually a 10-minute meditation or thereabouts. And, I'm back here at the familiar place, Gate of Heaven. I do a lot of funerals as a priest, and a lot of people choose to come here for their final resting place. Sometimes we're also inside here in the chapel. It's called Resurrection Chapel. It's the same name as we have for our parish. One of the things I was thinking of at the 8th station is how there's a lack of men really participating in the church these days. Just not enough men involved in things. Sometimes you come somewhere and there's like 75, 85% women. And you have to say, where are the men? It's one of the questions I asked when I came to the parish here. We had all these Cameroon people involved in women's groups. And I said, are there any men's groups at all? Found out there was one, or a small one. And I was like, well, we need to see the men recover their place in the church today. We have afforded women many new opportunities, which is great, and yet we should not sacrifice the men. We don't have the backbone of the men in the church, and we really are working just half-heartedly. Come on, men. The 8th station, the women of Jerusalem come and weep. It's interesting, in the scene of the cross, there's a lot more women there. A lot of men are missing. We know why Joseph is missing. He's already passed. So many other men are not there. I think they're quite intimidated and lost and confused at Jesus getting crucified. Men are supposed to be the strong sex, right? The reputation they have. But think of the strength of so many women in the church and their fidelity to God, and think of men and just their bad record of not standing up, not being men that are faithful and strong and courageous and willing to take on the things that are uncomfortable, willing to live out their responsibilities. Rise up, O men of God, who've done with lesser things. Give heart and mind and soul and strength to serve the King of Kings. As we're on the back half of the stations, Jesus falls the 3rd time. He was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and he was mute as a lamb before its shearer. But there is our man, Simeon or Simon of Cyrene, in his task. The 10th station, Jesus is stripped of his garments I'm here at the cemetery, and this is the big stone marker for this 10th one. They gave me gall for my food, and in my thirst, they gave me vinegar to drink. And Jesus, being stripped of his garments, that would have revealed all the stripes on his back, the 39 lashes. I mean, brutal, hideous lashes on his skin, on his torso, on his body, his legs, his back, his front, his face bruised, his beard plucked out, crown of thorns smashed on his head. He's in great agony. And he's gone all the way carrying this cross, and then with the help of Simon of Cyrene, he has now finally arrived on the hill where they will nail him to the cross of wood. One of the things I think about in our year of Joseph is that Jesus was flesh and blood, and he labored hard to go to the finish, to make it to the end. I think what a thing when Jesus said, "It is finished, it is consummated," but he still has to make it through these final moments. Mel Gibson, in his movie The Passion of the Christ, was one of the only ones really to portray the brutality of Jesus and the whippings, the scourging, and he shows it so ghastly that the movie gets a violent rating, and a lot of people criticize it as being too much. But actually, it's one of the only times it was portrayed correctly. Many scenes like this one don't show really the whip marks all over him. But Jesus suffered just immensely, only because he was so strong and so determined did he make it through the scourging to get to the crucifixion. There are some artists that have depicted Jesus in a bloody way, and I think of a few churches that have that up there. Not everybody likes it, but it's really what happened. And in this 10th station we recall, and by his stripes we are healed. That's our meditation for today. Behold, behold the wood of the cross, on which is sung our salvation. Well, come, let us adore.